Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Professor Wada Mike, and in this video I'm going to teach you something that is very cardinal, more especially for those that are in business, small business, small startup business, that this is very cardinal in every aspect of business. So this is about financial statements, and we are going to start with trading profit and loss account. Of course, in the next video, I'll show you how you can go about preparing a balance sheet, which is very powerful in every single business, because a balance sheet helps us to understand how our business is performing. So how much asset we have, how much debt we have, how much credit in terms of the people that we owe money and the people that owe us money. We can kind of compare that. So if the amount of the money that we owe to the people is actually more than how much people owe us, okay, so that's gonna actually become something that is a very tantamount and obviously a danger to your business. So if you're new to this channel, please make sure that you do subscribe to my channel for more information like this one. So as you can see, we have the trial balance. So before you get to prepare any financial statement, first of all, you need a balance sheet. So you need a trial balance. So a trial balance has been actually extracted from the books of original entry, or books of original kind of journal books and stuff like that. Okay, so now we are going to start with the trading account. So the trading account, we have to understand what are some of the items that we need to include in the trading account. So by definition, a trading account is an account where we are going to just include items that normally deals with the buying and also the selling of items. Okay, so every transaction that involves the buying and selling of certain things is normally what we enter in the trading account. So we have to actually break them down, okay, to a level where we are able to understand what is happening for every financial statement that we are going to prepare. But for this video, we'll be just looking at the trading account as well as the profit and loss account. Now again, we must be able to understand what do we calculate in the trading account. Okay, so that is the first question. Okay, so now trading is normally defined as just the buying and selling of goods, and services, for example. Okay, so now in every single business, okay, you don't just have to sell stuff. You don't just have to actually, buy. Okay, so whatever transaction is happening, at the end of the day, every business is gonna actually aim at making a profit. Okay, so we can extend the definition of what is trading as with the view of making profit. Okay. Okay. So now, with the view of making profit, okay. So every business, small business, medium business, and even corporate business or commercial business, at the end of the day, all we want is to venture into something that is going to actually make us money, or even just to give us more profit. Okay. So when you are drawing up the trading account, what is it that you are calculating? Okay, so you are calculating, one, the gross profit, as well as the cost of goods sold, sold, and also the gross profit, cost of good, as well as just of course, yeah, the gross profit normally. Okay, so that is what we are calculating. So then, in the trading account, it is about the gross profit. Now, this gross profit is actually not the real profit. Okay, it is actually not the real profit. Okay, so we have not actually subtracted some of the expenses. Like for example, if you're a small business, you got to employ other people. Okay, and those people that you have employed, you need to pay them a wage or even a salary. Okay, so the items such as a wage as well as a salary, those are expenses. And for us to understand whether our business is making money or not making money, then we have to measure based on those expenses. Okay, so for example, the salary that I've mentioned, and then also the wages that you're paying to the general workers, or the salary to the professionals or the skilled people. Okay, so then after you prepare the trading account, which just involves the buying and selling of goods, then the next thing that is going to come now next is now the profit and loss account. So in the profit and loss account, you are going to see, after we do that, the trading account, what will come next is we have to understand what items are summing up as expenses, and then after that we subtract those expenses from the gross profit. So after we do that now, then we can know if our net profit or our net loss is coming out. Okay, if the answer is going to be negative, then our business is not actually doing fine. If our answer is positive, of course our business is doing fine, but that does not translate in the reality of doing fine. Okay, just maybe your business is trying to pick up. Okay, so now let's start with the trading account. So you have to know how to draw this trading account. Okay, so this is now the most basic that I'm trying to help you understand. Of course, you'll find that there is other questions that contains some items that are adjustment to the given items from the trial balance. So we'll also look at those or other such kind of questions. Okay. Okay, so now the other important thing to understand is we have to know what items are going in the trading account, and what items are also going into the profit and loss account. And once you understand that, then it becomes very easy and clear for you even to just prepare any other statement. So you have to understand that when you're looking at the sales, so this is going to go in the trading account. Okay, so when you're selling or sales, that is part of trading, so the buying and selling of goods. Okay, so this is also going to be trading account. And then what else? What is the other thing? Now the other thing that you must understand is about stock. So most of the people get confused. Okay, so there is a word interchange that is normally used in the business world. So you have what is called the stock, and then you also have what is called inventory. Okay, so the inventory and also the word stock are used interchangeably. So whenever we say stock, okay, we can also just say inventory. Okay, so these are items of goods and services that we can either actually, close off with when you are knocking off from or we are closing off the shop, or maybe you're starting to sell maybe the very next morning of that particular day of your business. So before you could start sell, you have to take note how much of the goods are you starting with. Okay, and before you close your business or shop, you have also to do some counter checking that how much of the goods or product remaining. Okay, so that is more like the closing offer in terms of how much products and items have remained in your shop. So that is what you call inventory or just stock. So make sure that you understand the two terms that are used interchangeably, but they just rather mean the same thing. Okay. So now, okay, so when you look at this one, we have a stock at 31 December 2006 was 12,000, okay, 408. Okay, so the closing stock, okay, that is a closing stock. It was 12,408. That was the amount of goods that was actually registered or actually taken note before we could actually close the shop off. Okay, so that is the most important thing that we need to understand. Okay, then what is the main point that we need to, how do you start now? Okay, when you're starting off to prepare the trading account, the first we have actually defined that. Okay, so we've got to be very, very careful. Okay, so so now what I'm doing right now, guys, is that this is the most basic trading account I'm just trying to show you. So as we now actually advance in this trading account, okay, so we are going to see some changes that will be happening. So make sure that you understand that. Okay, what we do is look at this one, sales. Okay, so sales is the first entry. So the sales item is the first entry that we enter in the trading account. Okay, so we have to take it to the last column there. Okay, so this is and then also once we do that, now the next thing that comes in is we have purchases. Okay, so purchases happens that when you go to buy stuff and then you bring them to the shop and this is how much you've sold. So this is kind of going to be entered there. Okay. Okay. So now, like I mentioned now, is that in the trading account, those are the things that you enter. The only thing is that those that deals with the buying and selling of the buying and selling of goods and services with a view of making profit. So anything to do with buying and selling, those are the things that we enter. So you're also going to enter the closing stock. Okay, so the closing stock, which was 12,000, okay, 408. So I'm going to say Okay, so the answer there is going to be 190 576 minus 119 832 minus 12408. Okay, so we are going to get okay. So we are going to get this value, and this value we are going to close off, and this value is going to be called so now we actually call that value the sales minus the purchases minus the closing stock, and then we get the cost of goods sold. Okay, and then the sales minus how much it was costing for us normally to everything to go to the town, buy, and also the carriage inward and stuff like that, in order just to bring the goods at the shop. Okay, so we get that now, cost of goods sold. Okay, so from there now we're going to say this minus this one. Okay, so we're going to have 190 576 minus 107, okay, 424. Now going to get so we have actually gotten 83,152 kwacha. So this minus this, we get this. Now the sales minus cost of goods sold is actually what gives us what we call the gross profit. Okay. Okay, so now once you reach at this point, then you are done with what is called the trading account. So the next thing that you can just continue from there is now the profit and loss account. So the profit and loss account, the next what it contains is that it contains the expenses. Okay, so how much expenses do we have in a month or in a year? So like I mentioned earlier, the expenses may be some rentals, maybe you're just renting the shop, or maybe you are buying electricity, you're buying the water, you're buying the talk time, you're doing the photocopying, you're paying out the workers, the general workers, the skilled people, you're paying them the salaries, and so on. So all those, we need to bundle them up and then find the total of those expenses. Okay, so once we subtract the expenses, then the answer of the expense after subtracting from the gross profit, the answer that we're going to get will either be the net profit or even the net loss. So if the answer is negative, then we kind of just put it in brackets. Okay, we don't actually literally just show that this is a negative. No, we don't do that. All we do is just to close them in brackets so that an accountant or any entrepreneur or business person is able to understand the meaning of bracket in numbers in the business world. Okay, so let us now going to include all the expenses. So when you look at what expenses we have, So when you look at the expenses that we have now, is that we have the salaries, motor expenses, the rent, insurance, general expenses, as well as just those. So salaries, okay, we have number one, salaries, we have motor expense, we have rentals or rent, and even insurance, and also general expenses. Those are the expenses that we have, and we have got to list them. Okay. So now when you're writing the salaries, we always put them at the middle column. Okay. So we are always putting them, all the expenses should be put at the middle column so that we can have the total there. Okay. So the salaries is going to be okay. So now once we put the expenses together, you now get your calculator now just to add them, sum them, and then the total you throw it to the last column of this account statement. Okay. So we're going to do the total. So I guess you have your own calculator, so you can also just add them. Okay. So this is going to be 56, 527 plus 2416 plus 1894 plus 372 plus 85. Okay, so we are going to have okay, so we need to underline this. Okay, so now this value is normally called a total so now you can see that we need to subtract now this value minus this value. Okay, so the gross profit, okay, let me just try to calculate this. So now you can see that the value of the expenses is actually written as total expenses, which is that, and then we also have the gross profit. So you can see that most of us business people or entrepreneurs or even just investors, we have to be very careful when it comes to calculating the profit that your business is making. Okay, so the gross profit isn't the actual profit that your business is making. So you have to be very careful. Okay, you need to tell the business partners, the investors, or even the fellow board how much your business makes every month or even just per year. So if we understand how to do the proper work of this statement, the trading profit and loss account, okay, so this is now going to be this minus actually this. So once we do the subtraction, now the answer will depend whether if we have more expenses than we have the gross profit, then we're going to have a negative, and that is a loss. And if we have less expense, we have more gross profit, that is going to be a net profit. Okay, so now let us subtract that, this minus that. Okay, so now our answer is okay. That is now the answer for the net profit. Now, I want you to remind you that this example is so simple just to help us understand how you can get started when you're preparing the trading profit and loss account. Okay, so you may ask some questions, but where is the opening stock? Where is the returns inward or returns outward, carried inward or carried outward? Where is some bad debts and stuff like that? So we are coming to those adjustments, okay? But for you to get to understand those adjustments, you have to understand the basic fundamental of these financial statements, okay? So make sure that you watch the video, sit down, get some concept. Don't just rush to solve the question or just to fast go through, but make sure that you understand. So if you have any question concerning this video, please make sure you drop your comment in the comment section. Depending on where you're watching me from, if it is YouTube, you can just comment. From Facebook, you can also comment. From TikTok, you can also comment. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys. This is a Radical Academy, and this is Professor Wada Mike. And please make sure you do subscribe, like, and also share this video to others who are your friends, even the families, as well as just anyone whom you might think that they might need this kind of information. So share this video, and God bless you. Thank you so much.